Right, in my last video I showed you how to modify and use this small cross drilling adapter with a 2MT taper, and in this video now I'd like to show you how to modify and make a clamp for this larger version using these laser cut mild steel discs. I forgot to say, you can buy these on eBay very cheaply, and they're 3 inches in diameter and 6mm thick. This tool was very cheap to buy as well, really. It was only about £15 post free. When you buy a tool like this, I mean, I've said before that when you look at them you think they're going to be too hard to machine, but they're not that hard, and you can easily machine them. I've taken a light skim on this one just to test it, and like I said, they're quite soft, and you can modify them and make them into a better tool. So firstly I'm going to turn a location diameter on the back of this one to about 1 1/4 inches, and I'll show you that on the Myford now. Right, the way I do this is I just lightly tighten the jaws onto the diameter. There's already a centre hole in the back of the 2MT taper, obviously where this was machined. So I'm going to use a running centre, and what you do is just push it up to near the hole, and then undo the jaws and pull the job out onto the centre, give it a couple of twists, and then tighten down the chuck, and you should find that that'll run true. Right, I'm going to use a small carbide tipped tool, and so I'll tighten that one in the tool holder, and then set the depth just roughly, looks about right. And that's it. As you can see, it's very soft. It hasn't really been that hardened. So I'm just going to take the last cut now. Incidentally, I've got the turning tool sticking out quite far there. It could go back to stop any chatter, but I've got it like that so you can see clearly in the video. So I'll just take a light skim now. And then you go down the shoulder, take a light skim down the shoulder to make sure that's nice and flat, and just a very slight undercut. That'll do. And that's that. Then what I do is take the turning tool off and pull back the centre a little bit further to give yourself some more room, and pull out the job like that to give yourself the maximum room there, and then just start the spindle and with a small file make sure you've got a handle on it. Just carefully take off the sharp edge on the corner like that. And that's the turning on that tool done. So what I do next is take the disc, put the cross drilling adapter on it and sight it up to get it as central as possible by eye. And I'm going to use 8mm threaded studding for the clamp, and what you do is put it onto the disc fairly close to the diameter of the adapter, and then just mark with a dot where the centre of the drill will go for the threaded studding, and that's that. And then you only need to mark one dot. I will show you how to use the lathe as a marking machine to get the positions for the holes exactly in the centre of the disc and in their correct positions on both pieces. So what I do is put it in the jaws, and I'm going to use a HSS tool. It's 45 degrees each side, so it's pointed with a small radius. And then just line it up to the centre of the dot that we made. And I lock the cross slide if you've got a locking device, and then you just have it on slow rev. Just check everything's clear. It's very close to the saddle there, but it's clear. It's worth turning the chuck to check that, and then start up. And just make a light face groove. It's quite good that the discs are black because it shows up nicely. and then leave everything as it is and change the disc for the other one, and do the same on that one. Like that. Then what I do is I make sure the lathe can't be started, and then take the same tool in again, undo the cross slide lock, and then what you do is just scribe the face of the tool over the line that you've made, over the groove a few times, and then on the other side. Like that. And then you've got the cross marks for your drilling and tapping holes. Don't know whether you can see that there. And then you do the same with the other one. Then a nice centre punch dot on the cross. Like that. And then you know they're in the right position. To do the drilling and tapping on my small bench drill, I've set it up like this. The disc is held onto a block of wood firmly with a G-clamp so it won't spin. Obviously lined up on the centre punch hole with the centre drill in a homemade holder, and I shall do a centre drill, a core drill, and then start the tap off and finish it in the vise, and the same on the next hole. On the next disc I shall do the same, but the holes will be clearance holes for the studding to go through. So I've just finished the drilling and tapping. The studs go in there nice and squarely, and the clearance one goes on the top like that, and it's all dead square and all perfectly in alignment. Right, I'm going to drill and bore the disc with the 8mm thread holes in to the diameter that I've turned on the adapter. I've changed the jaws and left to hold on the inner step of the jaws, locating the disc on the back face, and I've checked with the size of the diameter. Just take the disc back out and check with a bar or a bung a diameter a little bit bigger than this one, to see when I bore right the way through I'm not going to hit the inside of the back jaws. So I centre drilled it and drilled it out to 1 inch, and now I'm just using a carbide boring bar just to bore it out to size. like that, and when you've finished you just deburr both corners. So it's nearly finished now. The threading screws into this one right the way through, and then I put a lock nut on the back, like that, and do those up. Then that one goes onto the adapter, like that. It's a nice fit, and it will go in that position like that. If you want to, you can Loctite it on with something like 638 Loctite. And then this one here I bored out to 20mm, and that one will go down over like that, and clamp your components or the bar in between to do drilling and tapping or whatever you're doing in it. The only other thing I've got to do now is to put a piece of bar in and drill through, just to give a little bit of clearance at the back of the V. So to do that, I'll use this little piece of aluminium, put it in there like that, and lock down the nuts evenly, checking that the faceplate is fairly square. Like that. And that's ready to center drill and drill. So the adapter's ready to be tried for the first time. These are a good thing to make. A center drill holder, like an extender, which is good for these. And we'll try it out. And put the drill in. Just a little way into the that should be all right. So that's the test piece and clearance hole drilling done. Take off the faceplate. It's a lovely sturdy tool. I'm very pleased with that so far. And you can see the clearance hole just goes a couple of millimetres past the back of the V, which is just right. And the job that I've just done, a nice hole square to the bar and dead centre. And you can imagine all the different types of things you could use this tool for. I've used the little one for hundreds of different things, and this one will be great for doing bigger items. And I thought I'd show you it on the mini lathe as well, doing the same job. So I'm very pleased with the performance of the tool. It's very strong and it does exactly what I want it to do. And it's a great project to make on the mini lathe or the Myford or any other lathe. And you'll find it very useful for many different jobs. And there we are, the hole by the mini lathe and the hole by the Myford, nice and square to the bar and nice and central. And that's about it for this project. You'll find details on the first video where to buy this adapter in the comment section, or this one here. And like I say, I've used this on the mini lathe for about 5 years now, and it's proved to be a brilliant tool.